Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Groom's Perspective with your hosts Martha Haring and Katie Mosedale. We're opening the stable door and delving into the highs and lows of the eventing world via Spotify, Apple and all good podcasting platforms. For the video edition, please visit The Groom's Perspective via YouTube or say hello back on our Instagram. But for now, here's this week's episode.
Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Groom's Perspective podcast.
And this week we have got Jeanette Brakewell back by popular demand.
Very popular demand.
Yeah. To answer some more of your questions. So we thought we would have you back on.
Did you have nobody else want to come on it?
No.
No, I mean to be fair, what we discussed last time a little bit was my how I'd started and all that kind of stuff. So I think we were going to discuss a typical day, what happens at a competition and all that kind of stuff from my perspective. So yeah, I think that's going to be the subject for this time.
Yeah, so we've done our day in the life as a groom. So now we're going to flip it and look at a professional rider's day in the life. So, do you want to talk us through what a normal day on the yard, like a normal weekday, would look like for you?
Yeah, so I mean, when we're sort of competing or in the competition season, I would certainly have a rough plan of what I'm doing the next couple of weeks. Be it that the horses are schooling, jumping. We do use the water treadmill as well, or go to the gallops, but all based around getting them prepped for the next competition. I mean, you guys start earlier than I do, which doesn't mean to say that my alarm doesn't go off early-ish. And I get up and have breakfast. And very sadly, my usual breakfast is boiled egg on toast every day. Mainly because creature of habit. I don't have to think about what I need to eat.
Well, it's good for you, though.
Well, I just do the same, a bit of protein.
Superfood.
And actually, it fills me up that... I don't usually. I try not to snack during the day because.
Hang on. What does your breakfast look like?
You get fat.
We don't need to discuss what our breakfast looks like. Thank you.
No, but you guys work hard. No, seriously, you guys work really, really hard. I mean, all right, I'm busy all day, but I'm not doing the same physical work as you guys are, even though I'm riding more or less all day. But it is a different type of work. Yeah, definitely. It's like if I do some skipping out or mucking out, I get a sore back because my body isn't used to doing that. Whereas 20 years ago, I was fine doing it.
Yeah, and if I have to ride a load, I can't walk the next day. It's different muscles.
Of course it is. Absolutely.
So you've had your egg on toast.
Okay, yes. Yeah. And then so I fill the diary out. I take a photo of it and I WhatsApp it to you or to you guys on the yard the night before, so you know what the plan is for the next day. And I'll get on my first horse sort of 8:30, 9ish, depending on what needs doing or how many I need to do in that day. And just basically carry on riding. Every horse goes on the walk before I work it. Half the horses go out in the field in the morning, the rest go out in the afternoon, so I work out which ones I need to ride first. And then there's another load that go out at night time. So, I mean, I let Katie organise what's going out when. If I have a preference, I put that in the diary. So yeah, I mean, I basically ride most of the day. And a couple of things I do make sure I do is that you guys take the horses up for me, ready to get on the next one. But I have a policy of no front boots on. I put the front boots on so that I've had a feel of the horse's legs, so I just know what they feel like. Are they the same as normal? Because ultimately they are my responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And you'd always check the tack, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. No, I mean I check the tack. I shunt the saddle. I don't take anything for granted because that is my responsibility. And obviously I make sure my girth's tight enough, the saddle's in place. I've got
your girth, Martha.
Martha's girth is always loose. She's trotting along. You go, a gap between the horse's belly and the girth. Did you tighten your girth, Martha? Oh, was it loose again?
Well, I did tighten it and now it's loose. I don't know what happened.
It is the rider's responsibility.
It is the rider's responsibility. I mean, obviously your balance is so good.
Oh, exactly.
That, you know, the saddle, it doesn't
Yeah,
move.
no, I know. I don't need a girth.
Bold statement.
We'll try it tomorrow.
My core strength is strong.
So yeah, no, saying you always check the tack, but it is then for you, it is just one horse to the next, really, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You know, well, I don't just abandon them.
No.
You know, I'll help untack, take their boots off, and you know, if there's nobody around, I won't just stand there waiting for somebody. I'll get the horse, start untacking, and I'll even wash it off. I mean, if it's a really busy day, I'll shout at somebody.
How do you actually find going from one horse to the next when they're all so different? Do you have to put yourself in a different mind frame?
I think before I get on each horse, I have a plan of what I'm going to do and how I'm going to work it. They are all different because they're all different ages. They slightly different builds. Some of them they move differently, so you do have to work them differently. But ultimately, the aim is to have them teach them to be athletic, to use their bodies, to be calm in their mind, accepting of a rider, understanding of a rider. You know, and the whole time I'm riding, I am constantly asking myself questions. And if I do a transition and it didn't go well, I'll ask myself why it didn't go well. I won't just go, oh, bloody hell, that horse was crap there, and blame the horse, because ultimately I am the rider. That horse is responding to me. So I you know, constantly asking questions as to how to improve it, what to do. You know, and also thinking, might this different bit work, or you know, because there might be something better. And quite often, if somebody's accidentally put the wrong bit in, I don't necessarily go, oh, we need to change the bit because it's the wrong one. I go, oh, okay, I might try that, see how it goes. A bit of trial and error.
Wasn't this at Osberton and we put the snaffle in beers and he had it, he was looking at
It was
Waterford.
It was in Smithy.
Was it
wasn't
Smithy?
Yeah.
I was in Smithy.
Yeah.
I went cross country
Yeah.
in his dressage stroke jumping bit.
Yeah.
And
As
but
we didn't have the owner there to tell us that we'd done it wrong, so we were just having I was going to say we're having a great day. We weren't. We'd both on the back of our 16 penalties in the show jumping each. I think we'd given up.
Yeah,
by
we'd
this
given up.
point. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'll give it a go. And then actually you came back and you're like, yeah, that was
It's
fine. And
fine.
he's gone in it for the rest of the year.
Yeah. No, exactly. So I don't mind trying things through mistake, trial and error, or whatever. You know, there's no hard, fast rules, basically.
So you don't think you're riding one after the other each day, but how do you then? Obviously, you do quite a bit of teaching.
Yeah, I mean, not
yeah.
masses, but you know,
No, you
I
do.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like
How
doing
does
coaching.
that work into your day? Do you ride them all and then teach, or how does that work?
Well, it varies because you know I'd get a WhatsApp message saying, "Hi, can you teach? Can you do a lesson whenever?" Blah blah blah. So and then you know it's fairly sporadic, really. You know, obviously if I'm not here, I say no, I can't do it that day, and I can do a different day. So I just all works in. So if somebody's booked a lesson in, that's the time I've got to do that, and then I just work it all around it.
And you do quite a bit of the hacking as well, don't you?
Yeah, I like hacking the horses. It gives me a break. Well, it gives me a break, but also, I mean, I am still working them. You know, we go hacking up the hill, and they've got to work properly up the hill. They've got to work in front of the leg. They've got to be energetic, because there's no point in them going up the hill, dragging themselves up with the front legs. They've got to push from behind, and that helps them develop their muscles better.
So you've like, if we're looking at now like a day at home, you've done your riding. What other kind of things around the yard do you take responsibility for?
Any maintenance work, like if things have got broken, you know, if there's something in the school, the boards or in the lunch pen got broken, I've got to fix that. I've got a really good toolkit. My hammer is my favourite. Hammer, saw, yeah. And at the end of the day, I can do that kind of thing. So I wouldn't pay somebody else to do it if I could do it. I do all the maintaining of the arenas, so the school and the lunge pen, because I'm quite anal about it. It's got to be right. And I'm quite lucky that I've got various bits of kit to. Like, I've got a leveler thing that pulls the side in, and then a gate that then just levels everything. So yeah, I've got the tools to do the job. I mean, the one that pulls the side in has got to be 25 years old. So I had it when I was in Norfolk there. So yeah, do all that. Office work, entries, paying the bills, all that kind of stuff.
So it's more than just riding.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot more than just riding.
More, paying you guys and yes, I've got an accountant and they sort of keep me up to speed on tax, national insurance and all that kind of stuff, and the pensions thing as well. I mean, I am clueless about all that. I just say to my accountant, this is what's going on, blah, blah, and then money goes out of my account.
I do think this is actually quite a good point that would be interesting for the listeners, is when you say like the office work and the entries and stuff, it's scary how much time that takes up. And actually, where do you fit that in the day? It's usually in the evening and it is usually very late. Yeah, quite because
often.
You don't you don't have any other time, and that's not easy, is it?
No, and you do have to be quite motivated, which I'm not always. I try to be, but I've finished work. I would do some office work, then go next door for supper, and then come back in, and then think, what else do I need to do? Do the diary. Is it what day is it? Monday? Oh my God, I've got ballot date tomorrow.
The Monday night dread.
No, but actually, Katie, when you come round and we go through the event program and the horses, and just having two brains work it out, because like 20 years ago, I'd have been able to retain all the information and it would just have all flowed, whereas now it's just like a sieve. So yeah, you help me out with that, which is great. Once I've got a plan, doing the entries is reasonably quickly. Except they put a timer on it.
No, that's just changed.
Yeah.
What? It's 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah. I did some entries yesterday, and I thought, God, it's giving me a lot more time than usual.
That today.
So it used to be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
right
my lordy, I've got to do this in 20 minutes. Well, you've got 5 or 6 to do.
I've got to do all your commentary notes as well,
Well, I mean, it's the old system. You used to just press a button that said copy previous or something. So whereas now you've got to fill it in. I mean, you can copy and paste it if you've got it on a separate page somewhere, which is what I do.
You say that, but you also do get distracted. You do like half an entry and then you like look at the dogs and start talking to the dogs, and I'm like, the timer's on, you've got to get going.
I love my dogs.
Gonna get clocked out in a
minute.
minute.
Get clocked out, and then you get clocked out and you start like effing and blinding.
No.
It's like
that has only happened.
System.
That's only happened once.
BU website.
But now that it's gives you a bigger window.
I noticed that today. And I thought Dan's going to be well happy.
Yeah, that's really new, because when I entered last week, that wasn't there.
Yeah, no, I noticed it today.
It's a new thing.
So that's kind of the day at the home. But then, what does like a competition day look like for you? You do most of the driving.
No, I do most of the driving. I do not have a chauffeur. I mean, you can drive, but you guys get up earlier than me, get the horses ready. So if it's we're lucky here because most events are sort of within 2 hours. So I drive. You guys have a good kip, and just chill out on the way there.
I'd just like to say she's making out like she's this absolute hero for driving. She's a complete control freak and hates anybody else driving the lorry.
It is not. It's not got the easiest gearbox. I will say that it has not got the easiest gearbox.
She can't cope with me grinding the gears. It's too much.
Well, I wouldn't sleep. So there's no point. Whereas you as soon as, we're by the end of the drive, Katie, you are asleep.
Gone.
You've got your neck pillow on and dribbling and everything.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, the lorry isn't the easiest to drive, and quite often me and Martha are let loose to go to the water treadmill on our own, and I'm like changing the gears, and we're just hysterically laughing, and I'm like, thank God Jan can't hear this, as I'm like stuck on a roundabout, like.
Sorry, it's Margs. The lorry is robust.
So yeah, you do a lot of the driving, but we do share it.
I enjoy the driving
if we're on a long journey.
Yeah.
we do.
If there's lots of straight roads, we share it.
If there's one straight road that she trusts me on for a few hours, that's fine.
It's the M1.
The M1.
So even when we went up to Hopetoun, you were like half asleep and you were like involuntary, like shouting words at me. And I'm thinking, you're asleep, and you're like, to the limiter. And I'm like, I'm at the limiter. And it was just like, you couldn't.
Sorry, when you were driving?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, she's literally asleep, but she still can't help but just be like backseat driving.
Oh, I am bad.
So yeah, you do a lot of driving.
Yeah, I do enjoy the driving. Because you're not. It's at obviously a slower pace, and I just don't get stressed driving at all. You know, if you've got people behind you getting bothered, it's like, well, I was here first. If you want to overtake me, that's up to you. Anyway.
So then when you get to the event, you go off course walking.
Yeah.
How do you work it if you've got more than one course to walk?
Well, it depends on the times, obviously, as to whether I can then do a different course a bit later on. If I do have to do 2 courses, I will often look on the cross country app and just see whether they run parallel or not. Because if they run parallel, I can do the 2 courses together. If they don't, I need to allow more time to walk one course or zigzag. It's easy if you know the event, you know the setup. It's easy to then do that. If it's a new event, like we went to Oxtalls the other week, never been before, lovely place. But I think I was only riding one course, wasn't I? So that was easy, and so I mean, you just got to be organised. We'd have to leave earlier if it was going in 2 different directions.
And then your day is then just spent one horse to the next.
Yeah, generally. I mean, you guys are great because I don't need to do much really, but if you need a hand, I'm there to help, and swapping the horses around, making sure the next one's in the right place, blah blah blah. I don't just sit on my backside my fingers, horse here. I'm not like that. And it's just good team effort really.
Do you ever have a day off?
Well, I had a what I call half a day off. Was it yesterday when I went shopping, or the day before?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I did my 6 weekly shop to Lidl, because quite often I say to Katie, I need it, just give her my card. She knows the PIN number, and say, can give
Dinner's
her a
on
list.
me, everyone.
It's fine. I went to Lidl and I browsed a bit, got myself some what are they called? Crocs. Little Crocs. Let's go with my little trainers.
Come into the trot up near you.
Don't tell everybody. Went to B&Q, got some screws that I needed for the lorry. I mean, that was my relaxing afternoon off.
And then probably did some office work.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm not very good at sitting still. And actually, once I've done everything, I can switch off really easily, and have a beer, usually then followed by a wine, and switch off. And I need to make sure I just get to bed early enough sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I just keep thinking of things to do.
You had that rare afternoon off because the schedule in the day, so you didn't have as many horses to ride because some of them had time off. So like you would only have half a day off, depending on what horses are doing.
Yeah. It was only because there wasn't so many to ride, because they'd been out doing stuff and they were having an easy day. So it did work that I could, but I wouldn't go off to the pitches or anything mid-afternoon.
Yeah, it's
a big sacrifice.
It's always on the back of the horse's schedule.
What they're doing.
It's never the other way around for you, is it?
No.
It's never like, I fancy a half day off. They can have an easy
No,
day
if it fits
today.
in, it fits in. If it doesn't, and having your own place and the maintenance it takes, and I like cleaning, and there's always arenas to sort out. And whilst it's dry at the minute, we're watering the bottom arena, because at least I can water that arena. That then we've got a really good surface to work on. It keeps the liveries happy as well. And it's what's best for the horses. So I spend my time doing that as well.
Yeah. No, it is interesting because it's yes, it's a similar structure to our day, but there is different elements to it. And certainly for us, actually, like when we might have a long day, but we finish the day and we go in.
Yeah.
And we think, as in actually for you finish the day, and then the other side to your job is the admin side. And that is always on mine, because there is always invoices that need doing or things to pay. And, you know, actually that's your downtime because it's at a slower pace, but it's still
No, but
work.
I am sat on my arse.
you know, I know,
So,
but it's still like brain power.
I'm not doing anything physical, but yes, no, it is brain power. But, you know, I can't afford a secretary. And to be fair, I like to know what I'm doing and what's going on, and that things have been done, blah, blah, blah. You know, I wouldn't say it is a little bit of a control thing, because then you've ticked all the boxes, and I know where I'm up to, basically.
Mm-hmm. No, it's
and then for us, obviously, we do get our day and a half off, so it's easy for us to go, oh, like that day we can do something because we're not working. Whereas for the rider, it's harder to, like you say, you can't. It's on the horse's schedule, whereas we do get that time.
No, but I will have a nice holiday each year. I mean, we've been very lucky to go to Botswana last year and going back again this year to the Okavango Delta, and it's absolutely brilliant. And all right, it's riding horses, but to see the wildlife,
she just can't help
and
it.
that kind of stuff.
No, I know, but
brilliant.
that is 2 weeks of the year. Like it is a crazy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I know it's so normal for you, and you're not unhappy about it, and that's great. Like, you really enjoy it. But from an outsider, like, you know, that when people think, oh, it'd just be amazing to go and be a rider, like you're discussing, like it's really hard to have a day off because
the thing is, I don't mind.
No,
because I actually enjoy what I do.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't enjoy what I do, I wouldn't do it, because for the financial reward, which is not great, as long as I can run my business, I can pay you guys, I can, look after the dogs, do whatever, and I've got a little bit in reserve for a rainy day, I'll keep doing it. The day I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to carry on doing it because there's not the financial reward isn't there. I'll go and find something else that I enjoy doing.
So on that note, we have had a question come in from a listener, and it is, if you didn't do what you're doing now, what career would you have?
So
career path would you have done?
Well, it's funny, when I was at school, I'd say when I was 8, I was going to the Olympics. So, you know, I'd sort of decided then, but it would probably have been something sporty. Do you have
any other hidden sport talents?
Any hidden sport talents?
Well, you know.
Well, I can play rounders. I can play
well-known Olympic sport.
I can play tennis. I mean, not great, but I enjoy it. But I don't get much time to do that. Look who the neighbours have got a tennis court, so which is great. So lockdown was great because we just played tennis a lot. But it's a good activity, and it keeps you on the ball, and it uses other muscles and what have you. And I'm semi-competitive.
So what would
it was always the horses?
Always horses.
It was always the horses, but it would probably have been something sporty, or I did sort of think about PE teacher, but
So now when you thinking about what would you do instead of this now, will this be to the end, or can you see yourself doing something different before you retire?
No, I don't. I will ride horses and compete horses and train horses and help people.
Will you go down the teaching route more, do you think?
Yeah, probably will do. I mean, I'm sort of
time.
I've done my BHSI this last year, end of last year, beginning of this year, and that was really, really good to do. I might consider doing my fellowship. As long as I can afford to do it. These things aren't cheap. The fellowship when I was growing up, it's like, wow, somebody's got their fellowship, they are pretty darn good. To have got as far as the I might give it a go. We'll see.
Watch this space. So some more questions from our listeners. What would your career high and what would your career low be?
Career high, I would say, was winning my individual silver medal at the World Equestrian Games in Jerez in 2002. I mean, Jack was obviously a phenomenal horse, and for him to win his own individual medal was great, really. So yeah, that was my highlight. Lowest point, sadly lost a horse competing at Buccalow. Can't remember what year it was. A long time ago. And that was really hard. Bit of a sort of freakish accident. Well, I say freak accident. Maybe not, because two horses at the same fence.
Right, okay.
Yeah, which and then over the years they probably after that abolished that fence. So yeah, it wasn't great. So going with a horse and then coming home without it was pretty pants.
Long way to come back as well.
Yeah, a long way to come back, and it's just really upsetting. You just don't want that to happen anytime.
Yeah. Any superstitions?
Well, no, not really. I used to wear Union Jack socks, and then obviously the Union Jack socks got worn a lot. They got holey, and they were not really socks anymore, so they went in the bin. So no, not really. I don't really believe in that, because otherwise, if you have a superstition like, oh, you forgot something, you forgot your favourite socks or not wearing the right underwear, whatever, you then have that in the back of your mind that's then the issue.
It gives you something to blame.
That's what
I think. I can be like,
looking for my reason.
yeah, I can be like, it wasn't me riding rubbish. It was the fact I forgot my socks.
But that's what I mean. So I mean, it's won't swear. It's rubbish, really.
Yeah.
You still got to focus on your job and do your best and remember how to ride well.
Maybe it's an amateur thing. Do you have any?
No.
No, neither
Have
do
you?
I.
You haven't?
What are you professional? No, I don't have any. I don't have time for it. Like, again, I'm not
trying to
organised
think.
enough.
No, I don't think I have any.
No. I think I used to have socks that I liked, but they were probably just like my only pair of like posh riding socks.
Yeah.
I probably had like one pair of Lemieux socks that I was like, oh, better wear these at a competition. As in, like, they weren't lucky. It was just, they were smart. That kind of thing. So, no. Davina outed you a couple of weeks ago on the podcast.
What did he say?
Have you not listened yet?
Not yet, no. I will do. I will do.
It was to do with you being spray painted silver naked in the Daily Mail. We're just wondering if you could shed some light on this.
Well,
She's like, no comment.
no. It was after Sydney, I think, when we won the team silver, and I can't remember how or why. Well, I know why it was asked, because I won a silver medal, but I can't remember who asked and instigated it. But basically, it was to go for the Daily Mail. They had a section called female. So
What year was this?
2000. It was a long time ago.
Now it'd be
You wouldn't get this nowadays.
yeah, it'd be gender neutral, gender neutral category.
So anyway, so I was asked to do that, and I sort of got the gist and understood what it was all about, and said you're going to be spray painted. So I thought, okay, and they said, have you got a prop you could bring, and so related to your sport. So I took a saddle and a bridle with me, and so I got there. It was at the Lord Lichfield studios, which were quite famous studios down there. He wasn't doing the photos, but it was his studios. And so I got there, and there's a couple of other girls. I can't remember it. Shirley Robertson, who was sailing. She had a rope as a prop, and it's like when you're sprayed naked and just got, I mean, I say naked, you had
got the whole boat.
and I saw what she did with the rope. And I'm thinking, rope doesn't cover a lot. I thought, my bridle is not coming out of that bag. I thought a saddle will definitely cover way more. So Kelly Holmes was there as well. Judo girl, I can't remember her name. But no, it was just a really interesting day. And the photos, they were pretty darn good, actually, even if I do say so myself. I've got a Polaroid somewhere. So it's like, well, what do you do with this saddle as the prop? And so I said, well, I could just hold it like this, so arm across there and hand. And so the saddle flap is covering the middle part. And they went, oh, that looks really good. So I went with that. And I got paid for it. It's great.
Amazing.
And I was
Sign me up.
I was absolutely wetting myself because I hadn't told my parents what I was doing. And then my uncle saw it in the Daily Mail and rang my dad and said, have you seen Jeanette? She looks amazing. And I was like, oh my God, I just shriveled up and died. I was just so embarrassed. I mean, I was proud of it, but because I was quite a shy person and never did anything or tried not to do anything outrageous.
Can't imagine Joe and May were expecting to see their daughter naked in the Daily Mail.
I wasn't naked though. I was painted and covered by a saddle.
Was it an Amerigo saddle?
Of course it was. Of course it was an
advertising.
Amerigo saddle.
The sponsorship boosted after that.
No, Amerigo have been with me for a long time. So yeah.
Yep. No, very good. What else? What else do we have?
Davina outed me.
He did out you. Sorry.
Yeah.
The long list.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thought we'd just touch on that.
Just seen it. You. I probably can't remember it all, but I mean, we've got such strength in depth at the minute, and most of the riders have got 2 horses or 3 horses on there. Well, Roz has got 3. There's plenty to choose from, and those top riders that are competing at that level the whole time, they're so practiced at it and do it so well. They've got plenty to choose from, and if that rider, say Roz, that horse isn't ready or something's gone wrong, she's got 2 more to choose from, and because she's such a good competitor, I think whatever she decides to take or whatever they select, she will do a good job because she's been in that position so many times and takes the pressure. But yeah, no, they've got a good lot to choose from.
Is there anyone that you'd like to see on there at the championships?
As in
anyone on the list that you think they need to go, or anyone that's maybe up and coming that you've seen that you think I'd like to see them have a crack at it? I'd
like to see Piggy back there. She's got Halo there. A smart horse. I mean, it's usually they select themselves, but actually it's the selectors are going to have to think about it. And I presume being at Blenheim, it's still, I mean, historically, if you had a European Championships on home soil, I remember at Blenheim in 2005, so we had 12 riders there.
Yeah, they scrapped that. I was reading that today.
Yeah, they scrapped that. So, you had your opportunity to be on the front stage, really. Whereas now it's back to every nation can only have, is it 4 + 2?
Yeah,
so. six altogether. So, it'll be interesting.
So is the course, will it be a separate championship course? Or will it follow most of the usual?
I mean,
they
will use
there's no 4-star long there this year.
Right.
So it's the
so basically
championship,
the Europeans
and the 89s.
The Europeans is 4-star.
Yes,
it's not 5-star.
Right.
So I mean they will follow the same. They'll obviously change it a bit. They'll probably make it fairly difficult, you'd hope. And I think they're still running the 8-9-year-old championships as well. Because they've obviously got the time to do that to fill the day. So
I didn't realise they're not running along. So do the riders that were planning to run, obviously we knew they weren't running along, but where would be the next 4 long then at that time?
Are they not
of the
running
season?
one at Scone? Is it Scone?
So is that taking the Blenheim slot?
I'd have to.
Blair would have had it anyway, because Scone's taken Blair, and that had a 4 long.
Oh, okay.
So
I
guess that might encourage some riders to go up and support a new event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
which
The
would be
Scottish events are great. Really good.
Yeah, they've done a lot of publicising on that Scone event. I was on their social media page today and they're really pushing it. It looks quite good.
Yeah, no, well, they'll do a good job.
Out of all the horses on the long list, who would you like to ride?
Oh my God!
If you can remember who's on the long list.
I was going to say, well, I need to look at the list. Oh, blimey! You're asking.
Okay. Any horse on the event circuit at the minute, not your own,
No.
that you'd like to ride.
So I've just watched. Le Moulin, because Katie has the. You're signed up for Horse and Country. And
Unbelievable.
You
Dan just watched it on my subscription.
I didn't know you had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get on it as well. I'll give you my password. Let's just give it to all the listeners whilst we're at it.
So I mean, like if I'm sat down for half an hour, whatever, I'll just it's on whilst I'm doing other stuff, and I'm sure it was Thomas Carlyle. It was riding a beautiful horse, really nice, and it went really, really well. It might have had a 20 somewhere, but its ears were pricked. It just galloped. It was just went in such a nice balance. So I thought, I quite like that.
Yeah, that's the one.
And what about you, Katie? Any horse on the circuit that you could ride that's not your own? Come on. There must be a horse you follow and you're like, I really like that.
No, that is hard because I wasn't expecting.
You can say mine.
Cold Harbour Royal Rebel.
He's really nice.
No, I think there's a.
Excuse me. Just having a
Conversation's getting boring.
Yeah, she's bored of us talking, so she's filling her beer.
top up.
No, I don't know. Do you know?
Oh yeah.
What? Who would it be?
Global Vision M, ridden by Lauren Innings. I love that horse. I followed it since it was
Is that
a
the grey?
5-year-old.
No, you're thinking that's Libby Seed's one.
No, it wasn't. I've heard of it, but
Yeah,
I've just got this grey horse in my mind.
always quite high in the dressage. I always get 40s. But I followed it since it's a 5-year-old. She used to put videos on YouTube, and it's really it's amazing. And I watch her
That's the
ride
one
it.
that's got the awesome video of it at Burley, doesn't it? Where it
Yes,
jumps big into
down,
Defender Valley,
and then it just turns itself
and then
and
it
jumps
just
the
turns.
corner.
And jumps the corner.
Yeah. No, I
Yes.
remember that. It went,
Yeah.
I've clocked it.
Yeah,
I love that.
I've seen
horse.
it.
That would be my pick.
yeah.
It's handy having a bottle opener attached to the quad key.
You never know when you're going to need it.
On the quad. Yeah,
okay.
no, I'll come back to you on that
come
one.
back.
Yeah, there's quite a few horses that I watch on the circuit, and I'm like, wow, they're amazing, and I think, I won't be able to ride one side of them.
Oh yeah, no, I can't even ride my own.
Like I look at Roz on Is-a-Lot, and it's like it is a thing of beauty, and I'm like, wow, she does such an amazing job because so few people would be able to get that tune out of them.
Well, I mean, it is such a spooky horse, but she's spent a lot of time working out, and it's taken a long time to develop that really secure partnership because it does throw things at her unexpectedly, and she's got to deal with, like at badminton this year. It's like the crowd suddenly at
Last year.
Was that last
Yeah.
year in the water?
Yes. The crowd suddenly spooked her.
Yeah, exactly. And it's done a bit more since, and it's learnt, and she's found the key, the secret.
No, I think there's a lot of horses that I see on set, and I'm like, they're amazing, but I think I find it quite hard to imagine myself. I actually see more horses of other riders our age at kind of 2-star or 3-star level, and I think, I really like that horse, and I guess it's probably because I can more see myself on that.
Yeah.
I'd love to ride Lordship's Graffalo, but it's not going to happen, is it? So, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
I understand that for sure.
So, yeah, I think that's about wrapped up, really.
Yeah.
No more questions for me?
I can get some up.
You want some?
Well, I don't mind. I'm here.
Badminton or Burley?
I know the answer to this. It's Burley.
Burley.
Pass this question.
Have you?
And I'm like, why is it not badminton?
I think because it's later on in the season, it feels less pressure. Right? You're more prepped for it,
Right.
whereas badminton, and I don't know, but for me, Burley gives you a friendlier feel from
The event or the course?
the organisers,
Okay.
stable managers, and not that badminton's bad in any way at all. Whether it's because I used to live quite close to Burley, to me it gives me a better feel.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. As in, actually, that probably makes sense. I'm sure quite a lot of riders that are really close to badminton, it's like they love badminton because that's what they went to as kids and
No, absolutely.
started going to.
It's just personal preference at the end of the day.
Yeah. And kind of where are you looking for your autumn 3-day? Or like, what are you thinking for your horses?
You're asking me to think that far ahead.
Yeah, she doesn't know, but I can answer this.
We're going to flip it now.
No, I mean, hopefully I've got one for Blenheim 8-9-year-olds. But we'll see how she gets on. She's a big mare. She's the family horse, as I call it, because you can fit the whole family on.
She's got about 3 extra vertebrae on her back.
But she was bred to show jump. She's by Jaguar male out of a show jumping mare, and she is a nice jumper, but she's really bold and brave cross country. So that's the route she's gone down. I mean, she perhaps wouldn't have been good enough to be a top show jumper. Well, she might have been with a top show jumper, but her owner felt that she'd be, and I have ridden for the owner years back, and he's supporting me again now, which is great. She's a smart. I mean, she's not the easiest because she's got that longer back, and when you get a mark for the free walk saying not tracking up enough, it's like, well, but its back feet are that much further away from its front feet than every other horse. So I mean, you'd hope they'd take that into consideration.
Yeah, like, excuse me, you're not looking at the confirmation.
Yeah, let me just park in front of your car. Have a look.
I trotted her up at Bicton. She's doing the 3-star long. I presented. I said, "This is my family horse."
Oh, yeah, I did hear this, and I'm like, "Oh God, she's cracking the jokes."
I thought you said family horse because she's easy enough for me to hack. Family horse because the grooms can ride her.
Family horse, but it's because you can fit the whole family on her back.
The grooms can ride her, and they can have a croissant whilst they're on her.
That's why she's the family horse.
No,
We've digressed again.
Yeah, no, I did see you like chatting up the ground drawing, and I was like, she's defo saying this.
Chatting them up.
For
God's sake.
So you're like, guys, assess this horse, please, so you don't give me bad marks. She's a family
for my free
horse.
walk.
That's the thing. Yeah, you've been in the game too long. You know the tricks.
Well, you got to try.
So thank you for coming on again.
Pleasure. But
you.
I was sort of, Jan. You are the guest
tonight,
aren't you? Okay. No, I don't mind because giving my
your episode did go down really well.
Insights.
So we thought,
you're lying.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
We're actually not.
Oh, okay.
It's had the most views.
Okay. Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Outing ourselves here.
I try to be honest and straight, and at the end of the day, we do this for the horses. We care for the horses, and it's what's best for them. And to be fair, without you guys, I couldn't do my job. And it's not just you two. There's the other 2 girls as well. It's a massive team effort. It's huge.
So thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Back in the near future.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you for
listening.
listening.